Hoorah! All right, guys, we got ourselves a very interesting What Did We Learn edition of Monday Night Raw on this October 9th, 2017. I'm sorry I'm late on the review, guys, but I kind of wanted to dive in a little bit, look at some tweets, also look at, kind of the feedback of what I'm getting from like the casual fans, what I'm getting from the IWC fans, and I'm going to just kind of state my opinion and what I think they need to do a little bit better and what I think they should have done instead of what we're getting right now. But anyway, guys, this is your Monday night What Did We Learn episode. Of course, it's your boy Bernie here at you on the Fusion Corp channel, and let's just get right into it. So the first thing that we have to discuss is going to be the Miz TV, and the Mizzies made an appearance again for the second time, and Miz, of course, awards Sheamus and Cesaro. Curtis Axel also wins an award. And then, they also thank Roman Reigns because they beat him down for the performance that he gave because he was just laying on the floor being like a sad, wounded animal because it's his yard, right, guys? Anyway, after that, Roman Reigns comes out, starts to kind of chat it up. We also had Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose come out as well. And the thing I noticed a lot is that there was a lot of Miz chants. So when Roman did anything, you're going to get the typical boos. And this is why I don't understand what WWE is trying to do here. And this will probably be most of the discussion that we're going to have here on this What Did We Learn discussion. It's just that I don't understand why WWE doesn't just kind of let go of this Roman Reigns fantasy that he's going to be the big guy, the top dog. I mean, I don't see why WWE, after 4 years, we've talked about it on the Gimmick Cast, we've talked about it on, numerous amount of reviews. He's just not going to get over. It's been 40 years, WWE. It's time to let go of Roman Reigns, build someone up, build a credible champion, get Brock Lesnar off the title. I think the allure of Brock Lesnar is over, in my opinion. I mean, other fans will argue with that, especially the casual fans will argue with it, but it's kind of tough to argue when I just see that Brock Lesnar really isn't anything that special anymore because all he does is the same stuff, and, it sucks when, especially the Braun Strowman match. I mean, that kind of, was the nail in the coffin for me for Brock Lesnar. I mean, it was a little bit before that, but that was just the final nail in the coffin, and let's just talk about Roman Reigns before I get off track. So, I don't understand why we're having this kind of odor that Roman Reigns gives off when you see him out on stage. He gives off this odor. The fans are not having any of it. I don't know. I don't know if the fans are warming up only because they're clouded by the mystique of the Shield reunion. But to me, the Shield reunion isn't really a reunion. It's more of a cash grab for TLC. This is more of, let's build up TLC to be like this awesome, amazing pay-per-view. But it's just not going to be an awesome, amazing pay-per-view, maybe wrestling-wise. But to me, I just don't see it going anywhere really that special because you should have saved the Shield reunion for a special event, for a new faction to come up. I mean, that's when factions are really brought back together again, is because there's an issue with another faction that's coming up. And I don't know, man. It's just very weird to see that this is what's going on right now, and this is what the case is. But anyway, we're going to talk about stuff here. So this match, so Kurt Angle comes out and makes this match during I think when the Miz got injured, that's going to be a triple six-man tag team between the Shield versus Sheamus and Cesaro and the Miz. It's true. It's damn true. The typical Kurt Angle saying. And I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just getting very, baffled for words and just confused at what WWE's logic is for doing this, other than, I mean, I know what their logic is. That obviously it's to get Roman Reigns over, to make sure that he's the big dog, and to get him numerous championships, numerous title opportunities. I mean, after what we saw from last night from Jinder Mahal, obviously Roman Reigns is better, but it's not that much better. But it still doesn't excuse the fact that we're just getting this very kind of weird booking from Roman Reigns. I mean, of course, the casual fans and the guys that don't want to disturb the hornet nest will say that WWE, all they're doing is they're doing great. Roman Reigns is really getting over. He's finally, the crowd is cheering for him when he does big things, big spots, but it's really just a fake reaction. It's not, the reason why they're reacting like that is because you put him back with the Shield, and everybody remembers the Shield that was a casual. Probably didn't watch until probably, when the Shield was there. They probably stopped a little bit, and now that they know that they're coming back, they're like, oh, wow, the Shield's coming back. It's going to be great. Roman is going to look good. He's going to look strong. But, it doesn't negate the fact that they still want to push him as the top guy. And then once fans realize that, and once the crowd realizes, oh, what's happening here, and we're going to talk about a little bit later of what happens later on in the show that proves my point. But once they get rid of that allure and that odor starts to kick back in, and they start to smell the Roman Reigns kind of odor that comes from the forced push, you're going to see that, wow, why did we decide to make this happen again? And it's going to be the fans' fault. I'm going to have to blame the fans here because they're giving the WWE backstage of like a fake response, and WWE's like, oh, wow, Roman's really over now. I think we finally figured it out. It took us 40 years, but we finally got Roman Reigns over. And it's no. You're not. Roman Reigns is not getting over just because he's with the Shield again. Once you put him by himself, because obviously you want him to be just a main event guy, by himself, he's going to get booed. It's going to be go away heat. It's always been go away heat with Roman, and I think it always will be because you ruin the character. I'm sure the guy, probably one of the nicest guys out there, but you ruin the allure of Roman Reigns by forcing him down our throats. And I'm kind of glad you're doing this. You're starting to do the same thing with Jason Jordan almost, but I think you stopped it a little bit because you realize if you make the same mistakes as you did with Roman Reigns, that he's never going to get over no matter what happens. Even if he has like some badass match, there's still going to be that sour taste and that bad stank in the air where you're just like, ugh, Roman Reigns, that guy sucks because he's being forced down our throats. And I don't know. It's just, I hate how they're just forcing this. Maybe we're going to get a betrayal maybe from Roman Reigns this time. It would be a little bit nicer. Maybe Dean Ambrose betrays him this time. I think it'd just be nicer just to get someone else to betray him, but it still doesn't negate the fact that you're wasting this kind of Shield reunion spot on a TLC pay-per-view that no one really cares about. And the thing that I also want to talk about, because nothing really made me irk more, was that Braun Strowman comes out, and, the Shield's just in front. After having a match against Matt Hardy, Braun Strowman wins. The Shield comes up to the top ramp. You see Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose just out on top of the ramp. Braun Strowman's just looking straight at Roman Reigns after, the blood feud that they've had together. And, he goes straight after him, but, the numbers game just beats down Braun Strowman, which, I don't know. If Braun Strowman can beat both, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins easily, even with Dean Ambrose helping, then I don't see why Braun Strowman's having issues with just a Roman Reigns. I know this is probably like, oh my God, Roman Reigns is really that evens the odd type of guy where he's just, doing all this kind of crazy moves. And then the thing that really pissed me off, and the thing that I won't sound as more animated about because, trust me guys, I'm really tired, but is the Braun Strowman Shield spot that they like to do where they just power bomb someone through the table. What is this, WWE? I almost said something else. WWE, why? Why is this a thing? Why do you force this shit down our throats? No one wants it. Stop putting Braun Strowman in this situation. You saw as soon as he got power slammed, as soon as he got speared by Roman Reigns, the crowd started to boo. And you know why? Because the allure of the Shield went away for a couple seconds, and you saw that Roman Reigns is going to stand tall again over Braun Strowman, which we've already seen already, and we've all known that Braun Strowman's the better guy and the better person that they want to get over. The fans are way over for Braun Strowman. It's just kind of sad to see that, he's still in these great matches, but it still kind of sucks to see that Roman Reigns, the gimmick killer himself, ready to kill gimmicks just like John Cena did a few years back. And you just notice that all the talent is just gone to the wayside. Like, you are really hedging your bet that Roman Reigns is going to be the guy, top dog, his yard. But in the end, as soon as the yard is empty and there's no more wrestlers to be had to feed him, what's left for him to eat? Obviously, obviously the guys in New Japan are sure as hell not going to be coming over to quietly and politely put Roman Reigns over. No, those guys aren't coming over. The ROH guys aren't coming over, and all the independent guys aren't coming over. I mean, pretty soon you'll be feeding them 205 Live to Roman Reigns, which, wouldn't be a bad thing just to kill the division off and rebrand it, redo it. But the point remains that this is just a terrible attempt and an excuse to get Roman Reigns over again and again and again until we've had enough of the Roman Reigns fuel from the WWE after feeding us for so goddamn long the same Roman Reigns stuff. I don't know. I'm tired of it, man. And the thing is that it's not going to stop because the casual fan is like, oh, yeah, the Shield. We're gonna get behind it. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. Yeah, cool. And then once TLC is done, Roman Reigns is gone. Roman Reigns is going to do his own thing again. He's going to be in his own feud, and it's just going to be very annoying to see that. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of this kind of generic garbage that we're getting from the WWE, where we're going to have Roman Reigns go over again. It's going to be just the same old dog pile of crap that we've always known and that we've always predicted is going to happen, is that Roman Reigns is going to get his coronation for the 5th straight year in a row at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Whether he holds the IC title or not, it depends on what happens later. But I mean, I'm just seeing the same thing. I mean, I'm reading the script and I'm just not impressed. I don't know what WWE needs to do. They definitely need to put Roman Reigns down, put the dog down. It's time to put Old Yeller down because it's not working. It's not working at all. You need to start with a brand new babyface. That's someone they can get behind. Although I'm starting to find him kind of boring now because his promos aren't very enthusiastic. But a Finn Balor, you could do that if you wanted to. A Seth Rollins, you could do because he actually worked pretty well as a babyface, and you failed to cash in on that when he first came back from his injury. Dean Ambrose is a little bit far from gone because when he first went out of the Shield, he was really good, but then you kind of derailed him. You had him go against Brock Lesnar I think it was like a weapons match, but Brock Lesnar not really the one to do weapons, so of course you're not really gonna get that. And I don't know, guys. I'm just baffled for words as to who else you could honestly put anybody in the top spot for Monday Night Raw. Braun Strowman, you could put him there, but instead we're getting Roman Reigns, and I'm really curious to see, like, after WrestleMania 34, once Roman Reigns, I'm just going to declare it now as a prediction, Roman Reigns is going to win that match. I'm going to be very interested to see what is going to go on during that, WrestleMania gimmick and what happens after it, because pretty much everything has been fed to him. There's nothing else to eat. It's like almost that scene from The Lion King where Scar and the Highland is just gone. Everything is gone from the plantation. Everything is gone from the crops to the animals. Everything was gone. That's what it looks like in the WWE ring right now. I mean, no one's there. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just sick of this stuff already. It's already 13 minutes, and we've only talked about the Miz TV stuff. I'm just going to quickly go over the stuff. So we had Jason Jordan versus Anderson. Jason Jordan wins, of course. The club being buried even more. I think the Good Brothers should definitely go back to New Japan. I mean, although, they're making money, but is making money that more important than your dignity and, like, your pride? I mean, I know that we all have our limits and we all stoop to certain types of level for money, but Carl Anderson and Gallows, I mean, it's time to go back to New Japan. I just don't want, you guys are too good for this. I've seen you guys in the little skit with the Southern wrestling. I think it's like Memphis Wrestling skits. I mean, that's good. That's comical. You guys are so good at this stuff, but yet WWE doesn't see that. And it's just so frustrating to me that WWE doesn't see anything in these guys. They gave them the titles once, and that was it. Put it back on the New Day, I believe. So, I don't know, man. It's just getting to the point where I'm just getting lame. Also, Booker T, I love you, man. I love the Spinneroonie. But your commentary, bruh, it's time. It's time to either, one, step up and actually do your research and know what's going on in the storylines, or B, get consistent with what your story is, because one day you like Jason Jordan, one day you don't. It's just very flip-flop, like the commentators Michael Cole and Corey Graves have pointed out. It's just like that. I mean, it's just very same old, same old. And next that we have is the Who Wants to Walk with Elias. Of course, this is Titus Brand Worldwide. Elias wins, basically. I mean, they had a scene where Titus O'Neil was playing the banjo to compete with Elias's guitar. And, of course, Titus can't play the banjo, so it sounded so terrible. And so much stuff that you could do for Apollo. But, of course, he just doesn't have any character right now, and you tried to build it. And this is just not the way to do it. It's just very sad to see that Apollo, like a guy that's so athletically gifted, a guy that you probably could have gotten over in NXT, but you pulled him up too early. For some reason, you pulled him up. I don't know why. It makes no sense, but, it was a boring match, and Elias won. That's pretty much it. And then the next thing that we got was a Enzo promo, basically just trying to issue to Kurt, like, why the hell am I facing Kalisto? You said there was a no-touch clause. They can't get the championship anymore, but yet Kalisto can. And basically, Kurt Angle said that they were going to have a match at TLC, but, Enzo was like, I'm not really feeling it. So Kurt Angle says, you know what? You're going to have a match tonight. And basically Enzo was like, you know what? All right, that's fine. But it's going to be on my terms, and it's going to be the main event of the show. Basically what this said was, Monday Night Football is coming down to the wire. It's a close game. We're going to call it by ear. And since it is a close game, I believe the last time I checked, it was like 17-17. I'm sure the game's over now. But, of course, when the cruiserweights are there at the main event, it means that people are obligated to change the channel because, Monday Night Football is a close game and people watch that instead. But, it's going to be the main event, and it's turned out to be a lumberjack match, which was, a very interesting plot twist in that. And let's just move on. I think we've already talked about the Braun Strowman thing. It still pisses me off to this mind. An assault on Braun. I mean, it's just Roman Reigns is still getting booed. I don't know what else to say. WWE fans, casual fans, please hear my plea. Let's not push a guy that everybody doesn't like. It's okay to like Roman Reigns. I'm not saying you don't have to, but just, the forced push, the stuff that we know behind the scenes. I understand the casual fans are going to look up news and rumors about WWE stuff, but if you look at if you're just going based on what the show is, I don't know how you can't just say, wow, this guy is really pushed down our throats. Meanwhile, a guy like Ty Dillinger can't get over. Sami Zayn, another guy, your favorite Uber driver, can't get over. Roman Reigns weighing lace to everybody. It's looking like the Lion King, like I said. I think the perfect symbolic reminiscence of Roman Reigns is Scar. Someone that just weasels his way to everything. WWE pushes him, and it's just nothing's left. Nothing's left in the Highland. All the animals have left. All the crops are dead. That's basically just my assessment of that. I don't know what's my assessment with Lion King lately, but that's pretty much my kind of interpretation of it. And then we got a pretty interesting thing, which was the Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. I almost said Alicia Fox. Blech. We'll get to her later. But basically, the Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss promo was a very good back and forth promo. Bliss showed a very funny little animation. I laughed out loud. It was just a little animation about Mickie James in her past. They put it in black and white just to give that funny effect. That was funny. I liked it. Very interesting match, and I hope their match is going to be good at TLC. I can't wait to see that, and it'll be very good. And basically, she also got Mickie James. That is, she got a biscuit butt chant just over, and the crowd was just very over about it, and it was just funny to see. But good for Mickie James. I'm glad that they're not wasting her talent. Another thing that was kind of weird is that they said that Alexa Bliss brought Mickie James back. No. It was Asuka that brought Mickie James back because they wanted a match. I can't remember who the first person was. Trish Stratus, maybe? I think it was Trish Stratus. They tried to bring back Trish Stratus to face Asuka, but it ended up being Mickie James, a very good wrestler in the ring. And, now Mickie James is here, and I'm glad that they have something for her to do. Meanwhile, for what's going to be happening at TLC for Asuka's sake is going to be here we had Bayley, Alicia Fox, Dana Brooke, and Emma. I think it's the Sasha Banks as well. And basically what it was that they were arguing about who's going to be fighting for the right to face Asuka, which Corey Graves kind of put it up in the perfect way, which is just, why would these women want to fight Asuka? Asuka is going to kill them. I agree with him 100%. Asuka is going to kill whoever is in that ring, and I pray, after what happened last night with the modern day Maharaja, he shouldn't even be called the modern day Maharaja. He's just being called Jinder. What happened with him, if that stuff happens with Asuka, I'm done. I am done with WWE. They've ruined everything that we enjoyed about NXT. They're just, what's the point of NXT? Should just be its own brand like ECW and just not have anybody move up, because this is just absolutely ridiculous. We're going to get to a point where NXT is going to be bigger because everybody wants to stay there instead, so we can have NXT on its own show doing its own thing instead of this Raw and SmackDown garbage that we got from this. But anyway, going to what we're talking about, Alicia Fox, this is what I'm going to say. Her acting is so cringe. She's a very beautiful girl. Like, she is so fine, but I know that's not really relevant to anything. But, her acting is very cringe. And it's just very unappealing. It's very appalling, in my opinion. It's just, get this woman off TV. Don't let her over dramatize things. Let her act naturally. I think a natural acting for her, instead of acting like as the crazy lady, the one that's just like, why did you leave me? Blah, 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 blah. No, just let her act naturally. Let her be her own self. Also, Dana Brooke comes back in the picture. I don't think we've seen her for a while, maybe a couple months now. She got new hair to match what her presence has been on Monday Night Raw, and that is a ghost. She got that Danny Phantom hair, and, no one can see her because she's a phantom. So, she suddenly appears like Casper and Danny Phantom. They just appear out of nowhere. It's just like, you know what? I want to face Asuka. And we'll just get to what we're going to get to there. Basically, we also had, for the next thing, which was Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali versus Gallagher and Kendrick. And, who cares about this? It sucks to see that my boy Cedric Alexander is getting gypped from having a title shot. I think he deserved the title shot out of everybody in there. But of course, Kalisto, the new addition, which he should have been in there last year, ended up being in that place. But that's enough about that. Who cares about the result? I didn't really watch that match. Sorry, guys. Sue me. So next thing we got was Miz came in to Kurt Angle's offices, I believe, and basically said that earlier before the Shield cut a promo on saying that, they could fight 4, 5, 6, 8 guys in the ring. So what Miz said was that he held Kurt Angle to his word, that what Dean Ambrose said was very true, and that they can have an additional person to their team. Kurt Angle says, fine, that's, I guess, even though it's dumb. But the person that they added was the guy that was so pissed, he kicked down the door, ready to kick some ass, and that was Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was ready, man. He was ready to just beat the living shit out of the Shield, and I'm hoping that he does, because it'll be poetic justice for what the hell WWE is doing, and to finally put Roman Reigns to sleep. Put him to sleep. It's time to get a new dog. Sorry, Roman Reigns, the old dog has got to go, and it's got to be a new yard for a brand new start for Monday Night Raw. It has to be. But anyway, he's going to be the newest member of the TLC match, and it'll be a very fun match to watch. I can't wait to see what happens there. But next we got a Finn Balor little segment with the Bray Wyatt gimmick. Basically, what we found out was that Sister Abigail was going to be here, and what we found out is that she is a Snapchat filter, basically. If you go to your Snapchat, there's a filter on there that has like a ghoul look, like a ghost or zombie look. That is Sister Abigail. Congratulations, you are Sister Abigail. I just don't like the fact that we're basically having like an alter ego to Bray Wyatt, kind of like how Finn Balor has the demon. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if I will only enjoy it if Sister Abigail wrestles a completely different style than Bray Wyatt, because it makes sense, because she's a totally different person, should have a totally different moveset. But if it's like Finn Balor, then no thanks. And also the supernatural stuff, it's just not getting over with me. I don't know if kids believe it. I doubt kids believe it. If they believe it, Jesus Christ, we got a long way to go. But I don't think they believe it, and it's just something that we don't need to see, guys. We don't need to see it, and it's just time to stop. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the alter ego stuff. I thought it was going to be a woman from NXT or maybe from Summer Rae, who's not really doing anything, just to give her something to do, but instead it's an alter ego, aka a Snapchat filter. But anyway, what we moved on to now was the 5-woman match, elimination match that they added randomly. They didn't tell us until now, and it was just for the right to face Asuka. Basically, the highlights and the bullet points that I'll give you is that Bayley got eliminated pretty quick. I mean, Dana Brooke was first, then it was Bayley by Alicia Fox. I mean, someone backstage really, really, really despises Bayley. There has to be backstage heat, because there's no way that Bayley, the easiest booked character you had at NXT, easily could have brought her up to the main roster and easily booked her the same way. Instead, you decide to bury her with a pole match, and with this match where she got pinned by Alicia Fox, who hasn't wrestled probably since, I mean, I know it's last week she did, but it's been a long time since she's been on like the card wrestling, because she's been a mid-card title for the cruiserweights. But, it's just, why? What happened to Bayley? I mean, we still have to find out, and I think it's just time to figure out why Bayley's just being buried. But anyway, 3 women left. Basically, Alicia Fox gets eliminated next, then it becomes a quick pin from Emma onto Sasha Banks, and it'll be Emma who's going to be facing Asuka, who they had a pretty good match in NXT, and I wish they would bring it up. I can't believe that in the storyline where they all met Kurt Angle in his office, that they didn't once mention, like, at least Emma didn't mention, like, hey, I've wrestled her before. I know now this time how to defeat Asuka. I think it would have been a better storyline and a better situation than to say, yeah, I know I started the women's revolution. Like, no, I don't care if you started the women's revolution. It's time to beat Asuka, because the last time you faced her, you lost, and it's time to revenge that win if you want to. And, Emma should have known that already, and, I'm glad that Asuka brought it up in her tweet, which I saw on Twitter today, that she's like, nice, we'll see you again, Emma, for another rematch, which, great. They know continuity, and they're going to continue the storyline. Ah, man, it's just finally you need to see things clearly, guys. I don't know how else to stress it. I mean, this is getting to a point where I'm getting tired of it. It's just becoming a chore to watch Raw now. I mean, although you could say, oh, why do you watch it then? You don't need to watch it. If you don't like it, then you can switch it off. All right, then say that about your favorite sports team. So if you're a fan, let's say, because I'm a fan of the Seahawks. So just because the Seahawks are having a crappy season right now doesn't mean I'm going to stop watching them, although they have a winning record. But, when their team's having a bad season, like the Browns, sorry to pick on Cleveland here, but, when the Browns are having a bad season, you're a fan of that team because, your grandparents or whatever happened, however you got into it, it's your thing. But, you're a fan of it and you're just like, you know what? It's time for you to do better. I mean, there's got to be some management changes. There's got to be some player changes. I mean, there's got to be changes made so we can get you guys to the playoffs. It's the same thing with Monday Night Raw. You need to get some new management, some wrestlers that haven't been used properly, to use them properly, and to just get those guys over. You don't have any superstars on your roster anymore. If you think about it, I mean, the only one is Roman Reigns, but that's it. If you think about the Ruthless Aggression era, the Attitude era, you had so many guys there, and I don't understand why you're just like, you know what, we don't want to build stars anymore. It's just time to give the old ones still there. Let's reach in the cookie jar for some new ones. Let's see, let's spin the wheel. Goldberg, all right, you're in. Let's see if we can get him. It's just like, why do we need to do this? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Please build up your stars, guys. It's time to do that, and I hope you do. And basically the next thing that we got was the Lumberjack match, which the crowd was not hyped for. It was very kind of boring, except I did see that Enzo might be starting a program with Mustafa Ali after they had a little bit of an engagement. So, watch out for that. And basically what happened is that Kalisto won the match, and Kalisto is now your new Cruiserweight champion. I think I still don't understand what was the point of putting the belt on Enzo. I mean, for this 3 3 weeks, however long it's been since he's been champion. I think SummerSlam. I don't know, man. It just feels like it's been forever that Enzo's been champion, and it's made no sense as to why he was champion. No one will tell me otherwise why he would be a good champion, other than, yeah, he made you watch, but it's not going to be something that's like you're going to watch continuously week after week. You're going to forget about it because you're going to be wrestling fatigued from all the wrestling stuff that we've watched throughout the week. But anyways, guys, that was your Monday Night Raw. Very mediocre, very anticlimactic. The Hounds of Justice are here to bury people in the name of Roman Reigns, and I'm not excited for it, and I'm still drained and shocked from the Nakamura match. I'm still upset, and I might talk in another video. I might make another video. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll put it on the Gimmick Cast, where I'm going to go off once I have the energy and once I get a good night's sleep. I'm going to go off on that Jinder Mahal Nakamura match because I am heated as hell as to why that happened. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy Bernie here, back at you from Fusion Corp with your Monday Night Raw. What did we just learn? Please remember to subscribe, like our stuff on the channel. Of course, we have some Dragon Ball stuff, the Dragon Ball review, and the Jiren's what do you think you'll wish for the Dragon Balls is up now. So please make sure to check that out after we had a crazy promo-like feel with Dragon Ball Super, and we get this anticlimactic Hell in a Cell and Monday Night Raw. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy Bernie, and I will holla at you guys later. Peace.